Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Warner, New Hampshire. You can find me online at chatandcraftwithlorraine.com. And I love to make cards. I love to share cards. I love to help other people make cards. And I try to send lots of cards. I come on live every Monday night to show you a new card or a technique or something different. And every Tuesday night, I have a free Zoom class. All the information is posted on Monday afternoon on my Facebook page. And then on Tuesday, the Zoom link is posted, and you're all welcome to come to that class. If it's your first time, please message me before you come and let me know what name you'll be signing on to Zoom with so that I can let you in. Because if I don't recognize the name or it seems a tad suspicious, I won't let you in. So, hi MJ, thanks for watching. So please, I'd love to have all of you join sometime on the Zoom. We have a lot of fun. We laugh, we make mistakes, and we make cards. So tonight we're going to make this pop-up pillar card. And this is a card we made on our Zoom class last week. And I don't usually do it again on a live. And this does fold flat, as you can see, to go into an envelope. I don't usually do it again, but one of my team members and a Zoom class member, Pam, posted a card she made with paper pumpkin supplies, and it generated a lot of questions about how the card is made. So I decided to come on and make the card. So it's much easier to show you rather than try to write out all of the steps. And I put most of the dimensions in the description of this video for you. So you'll have everything there except for the scoring, and I'll give that to you in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to switch my camera and I'm going to show you some of the cards I've made with this already, and then we'll get started. And please comment and say hello. Let me know that you're watching. And on next Monday, I will draw a name from all the comments and send somebody a prize. And I just did the drawing for last week's video, and Joanne, you have won a prize. So I will be in touch. Okay, let's switch this camera. All right. So here's one I showed you already. This is with the little dreamers. I haven't put a sentiment on the inside, but you can see it stands up. And I did try Martha, who's on tonight. Hi, Martha. Hi, Rose, Eva. Cut the sides a little bit to try to make it so you don't see the top so much. And she cut a much bigger piece. And I tried it again on another one. I'll show you in a minute, I guess. This is one that the pillars come up to the top. So I don't know if you like that look or not, but you can slice down and over if you don't want that to show. So this one uses Zany Zoo, and this one has just cardstock in the background. That's one piece of cardstock. This one has cardstock that I stamped little stars on. Can you see those? Yeah. This one has plain cardstock in the background. And this one, the card goes that way. So you can make it the 8.5 by 5.5 card base or the 4.25 by 11 card base. It's up to you. Okay, so let's get started. I put these in the description, but we'll go over them again. This piece is 4.25 by 9.5, and that's the cardstock that we're going to make into this pillar part. We have a card base that's 4.25 by 11. I scored it at 5.25, and I'll put a piece of basic white, 5.25 by 4 inside. And then I'm just going to use a piece of cardstock again. This could be DSP if you want. That's what Pam did on her card. She used one of the Winter Meadow DSPs. So you can do whatever you want. I'm going to use a few stars from this Little Dreamers stamp set. I'm going to make another Little Dreamers card. I'm going to make this one just a birthday card, but I'm just going to put some stars randomly on the part that's going to show on the sides. You can turn your paper or you can turn the stamp to make it a little bit more random. Let me just give that a little bit of a clean before I stick my hand in it. Okay. So that piece is going to go on the front of our card base. Let's make that stay closed a little better. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on. All right, and now we're going to do some scoring on this piece. This is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2, and I'm going to put my 9 1/2 inch piece of paper across the top. Okay, 4 1/4 by 9 1/2, and we're going to score it at 1/2, 1 1/4, 2, and 2 3/4 from both ends. So I'll leave that right there. You can write those down or take a screenshot. So start at 1/2, 1 1/4, 2, and 2 3/4. And if you know me, I don't like to take the arm out on my trimmer. I much prefer just turning my paper around and doing it again at 1/2, 1 1/4, 2, and 2 3/4. Okay, now I'm not going to burnish those folds just yet. First, we're going to figure out which way our piece of cardstock goes on. So it's 3 3/4 wide and it's 4 inches tall. You can see it won't fit right going the other way. So first, we're going to make a cut in that for our opening. I like the circle openings best, and you can see I have my DSP cut a little bit bigger than my cardstock. So these are the 2 biggest stitched shape dies, no, stylish shape dies, and I'm going to use the bigger one first, just on the piece of DSP, and I'm going to try to get it as even as I can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this, I'm going to use my grid paper. I have it centered on my grid paper, and I'm going to try to have the same number of grid paper squares above it and below it and on either side of it, and then I'll just stick a little piece of Post-it note tape on there to hold that in place, and I'm going to run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. that is behind me because I don't like to wiggle the whole table. Okay. So now we'll just peel that off and save this cool circle for something else. And now I'm going to center this piece of paper. I love the orange side too. Right on this. My cardstock tonight is Blueberry Bushel. I love all these blues. Night of Navy, Blueberry Bushel. Okay. And now I'm going to put the smaller stylish shape die inside. And I'm going to hold that right there again. I tried to get it nice and even all the way around, and we'll run that through. This is just a little bit too big to fit on the mini machine, which doesn't tend to shake quite so much. Okay. All right, so we don't need those. I can save that piece of Post-it note tape, and now I have a matted circle where you can see both frames. Okay, so now I'm going to flip my paper over and I'm going to fold on those score lines, folding each one towards the middle. And give it a good furnish, and the same thing with the other side. Hi Gayla, thanks for watching. Okay, so now I'm going to grab, I should have brought a piece of white over with me. Let me grab a scrap of white. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 scored sections there. I want just 2 of them. And I'm going to put this piece of white here so you can see that a little bit better. So I have a skinny one and a fatter one. I'm going to put some tear and tape on the skinny one, except of course my tear and tape has gone missing. Okay, so I'm putting it on the skinny piece, the piece that's closest to the outside, or actually I guess it's closest to the inside. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I have 2 pieces folded in, 2 sections folded in, but the tear and tape only goes on one of them. Okay, and I'm going to take that release paper off, and I'm keeping this folded with the 2 sections, and I'm going to hold it folded right there, and I'm just going to flip this whole thing over and stick it down, and that's going to get this piece of adhesive exactly where you want it. If you try to do it on your own, it's very hard to get it exactly square. So I'm keeping 2 sections there, and I'm just going to flip it over. And now you'll see I have a nice square column right there. Okay, it lines it up just right. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I still have 2 sections folded, and I'm going to flip the whole card right over on that. Okay, and now my columns are made. That's the front of the card, It's going to go on this eventually. Well, next. It will go on that next. Oh, I just dropped that. Okay, so you can see that this is the piece that we'll want to touch the back and have the adhesive on it. So if I can find the pencil that I had a minute ago, I'm going to put an X on those, just so I know, okay, that those aren't going to show, they're going to hide. And I just want to show you how you can think about this so that it makes sense. So this needs to attach like that, and these will straighten out when they have adhesive on. Needs to attach like that, but it also needs to fold to go into a card, an envelope. So it would fold either to that side or it would fold either to that side. So you can see when you look at it trying to fold that the part with the adhesive is not all the way up to the edge. It's not all the way out there. It's in a little bit. I hope that makes sense. That helps me figure out how to do it a little bit. So now I'm going to put 2 pieces of tear and tape on one side. Well, I'm going to put it on both sides. I'm only going to take the paper off one side at a time. Okay. And then on this side. I think liquid glue would be a little bit messy to use on this step. I think the tear and tape helps. And please, those of you that made this the other night with me, please chime in with what you found helpful, because I always learn something from the people that do the class. Okay, so here's my surface that's going to stick to that, but it's not going to stick to it at the very end. It's going to be over a little. So I'm going to fold that down so that it's flat. And now I'm going to line this edge up with the edge of my card base. Okay? And the adhesive will not be at the very edge. It will be in about 3/4 of an inch. Okay? And so there we have one side attached. It can close over like that. Okay. And now I'm going to take the tear and tape off the other side and not let it close just yet. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I have that closed down so that there's one space here. Trying to get that in better light. One space next to that tear and tape, and I'm going to fold this. I folded this one over so that it comes to the other side. Okay? I'm upside down. There you go. And so that is how, that's the hardest part that there is to make. All right, and I did the rest of my little doodads here already. So I'm going to put, I want this to be a happy birthday for a little guy. So I'm going to put this happy birthday. This is from the Artistically Inked stamp set. Oops, I'm not getting that too straight. Okay, and now I have to hook him on, but only by putting glue over here on the back, okay? Because he's not, oh, I guess I had one stamped on the back of this too. He's not hanging on by too much, just a little bit. And you can put your hand inside there. There you go. And I'm going to put a little moon up in the sky. I thought about cutting this out of silver and then I forgot. Little moon. I don't like, that's not sticking. Well, that'll stick forever now. Okay, there we go. And I had a little bit, I don't know if you can see the sparkles on that. This is a little bit of sparkly paper. I don't know, I could put those on. Sure. I thought this paper was self-adhesive. I'm gonna need a glue dot, I think, on those. But I don't think it is. Okay, there's glue dots on here someplace. I've lost them. All right, we'll have to use glue. Whoa, way too much glue. That's where your shirt comes in handy. Just wipe it on your shirt. And one more. Always have to have 3. And then I'll show you how I think Pam did the paper pumpkin one. Pam, you're going to have to shout and type quickly. Hi, Nina. Hi, Courtney. If I'm not doing it exactly the way that you did it. Okay. So Pam used some paper pumpkin pieces. So this is the November paper pumpkin kit. It comes with these little houses that you put a treat bag in with some treats in it and glue together, and you can put a little tag on them. They're adorable. I didn't want them to stick out behind the pillar. So I have a card base made, and I have a piece of the Magical Meadow Winter Meadow DSP on here. This is what Pam used, and she did just one hole on the front of her card. So I cased hers, and I also did just one hole there. You can see a little bit of my pillar shine coming through. We're going to cover that up in a little bit. All right. But the trickiest part, I think, of this is we have to get this house under here without it showing on the edges of the pillar. Okay, the pillars. So I trimmed this house to 3 5/8 by 3 3/4, roughly. And so I don't know, Pam might have left hers a little bit bigger, and that might have been better. I don't know if you're gonna see a little bit at the top here. Can you see that? There is a little bit of the roof line showing at the top. If I go all the way up to the top, I'm afraid I might have edge showing at the bottom. Well, it probably won't because I'm going to put something there. So I think we will do that. So again, I'm going to use my grid paper and try to center this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then it looks like I want to have 3 and a little bit on each side of my house. And then I will put my column, my pillar part on top like that. So I think I'm going to use, this is very sturdy, very thick. I think I'm going to use tear and tape on this also. I might be sorry. I might wish I had the wiggle room of glue, but we're going to try to make this work. And if it doesn't, I can say, I should have asked Pam. How am I doing so far, Pam? Is this how you did it with your paper pumpkin one? Put these off. I know some people use their paper tick tool, take a pick tool to do that, but I seem to have better luck with my fingers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and a little. I think I'm going to go even with the top of my paper. The roof is not exactly square. I'm going to do the best I can. Okay, so there is that. Now, again, we need to put our tear and tape here, and you'll get to see the trickiest part, I think, is putting this on the card base. So you'll get to see that again. Okay. All right. So I think that's going to work. Let's do this one first. Thank you for sharing, Courtney. Oh, that does not want to lift. Okay. Oh, I almost put, oh no, it goes this way. Phew, I almost put that on upside down. Okay, so again, I'm going to close this so that I have 2 sections showing. I do not want my adhesive at the very edge. I want it over a little bit. And I'm going to line this up at the edge. And I'm going to hope that I'm covering the edge of that paper pumpkin house when this stands up. I do appear to be covering it. Yay! All right. I have 2 take your pick tools right here. And I never, let's see if I can figure out how to use them to take this off. Oh, well, that might be pretty easy. Let's try that again. Huh, look at that. Maybe I'm sold. Okay, so now I'm going to, this part is adhered, but I'm going to push it over so it lays flat so I can get this card, the top of the card over here to the edge. Okay, so it was like this I'm gonna push it over, and I have my adhesive one space away from the edge. And I'm a little low there. I need two. Okay, it's hard without putting my head right under the camera. There we go. So now we have that cute little house right inside there. Isn't that cute? Beautiful. So, oh, where did I put them? I made some decorations to go on this guy. Here they are. So let's see. These are all from, this is from this month's, the same paper pumpkin kit. It had a little hole in it to be a tag. So I just stuck one of the little wreaths in it. And I thought this would go right here. This is the stamp set that came with it. It says, warm wishes from our home to yours. It has this adorable little dog. That dog fits in the back of the pickup truck so nicely. Oh, I saw that on the Paper Pumpkin page. That was awesome. And I'm going to put a tree because I want to cover up this little bit right there. I'm going to put a tree there. I have a little nubby on here. And then I thought, does it need another tree there to balance it? I think so. I think two trees. Okay, so I'm going to put my tree on first. At the side? Yes. I like that the trees have lights on them and some stars. I always have to check the orientation of things. I'd like to pop this up, but I think with the bulk of this already, I'm just going to put it on down there. I do want to show you one thing to be wary of when you're decorating the front of your card. Okay, look at that. Warm wishes. Oh, and I'll put the inside in, and the month before that had the cards that coordinate with this has celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season. I'll probably put that on the inside of the card. But there you have it. That's how to do it with the paper pumpkin box. So I want to show you one thing on this one. I may run into trouble on this one because I've let this hang over a little bit and I've let this hang over. So when it fits into the envelope, if I put it that way, the little nose is hanging over a little bit. If I go this way, the tree hangs over a lot. That's definitely not going to work. I think I'll just make it into an envelope. I can, I don't have one right there. Let's see. Here's one from a different paper pumpkin kit. Let's see if it will fit. That's just gonna fit with his nose. But if I go this way, I don't believe, yeah, see that hangs over too much. So be careful letting your things hang over the side. So what do you think? Is that a card that you will try to make? Oh, I did want to show you one other thing I did. If you don't feel like cutting out the front with dies or whatever, you can make the front solid. I think that's pretty cute that way. And you can put it on just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 flat piece of cardstock, and then you would just put your white piece back here. But I would do your stamping and all your writing on that before you put that on. And then this will still fold and go into an envelope. Okay, so that's, oh, here's the one that Martha made, where she made it so you don't see the pillars from the top. She cut the sides like that, like so. And that was a great idea. Isn't that pretty? Now she put a coordinating piece of DSP in the center on top of the other piece of patterned paper. So there's all different ways you can do that. And just a sentiment on the front. That's a beautiful one too. So I hope you learned something new tonight. Let me switch this back over. I hope, excuse me, this is a long time for me to be talking. I hope that you'll give it a try. If you have any questions, please ask. Thank you for commenting. As I said, I will pick a winner next Monday, and I hope you have a great week. And if you'd like to join me on the Zoom class tomorrow, you can check out the post that's on from today that shows you what you need to prepare. And I'd love to see you. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.